As a horseman and a clinician, I believe it is important to protect and support your horse's legs. No matter what you do with your horse, from trail riding to barrel racing, I recommend the Pegasus Air Boots. The Pegasus Air Boots offer excellent support and a user-friendly application. The 100% breathable and conforming fit allows the heat and sweat to wick away from your horse's legs, leaving them drier and more comfortable. If you're looking for the best support boot available, try the Pegasus Air Boots. You won't be disappointed. Well, good morning and welcome to the show. We're getting ready for a long day of branding calves here. This is branding season here on the Diamond Ranches, and we've got a lot of work ahead of us today. We're going to use some of this footage to bring to you in this show as we preview the horses. And that's what we're going to do this week and next week, is preview the horses we're going to have for sale on June 6th. There wasn't video footage available, and we're not going to have it available on every horse. So we just have taken the video footage we've got. They're not necessarily in numerical order. These are just a sampling of the horses. You're going to get to look at about 40 to 50 head of horses in the next 2 weeks, and there will be 75 in the sale. There's lots of great horses here to look at. We hope you enjoy this show. Lucky is one of the horses that have been used heavily on the Powderhorn Ranch. The foreman of the Powderhorn is Fred Heiser. He has rode Lucky extensively. This snowdrift you see me loping him through are 2.5 feet deep. And this horse is pulling everybody on sled rides all day long. This horse has got a lot of gas, a lot of go. He's a big, handy, using kind of horse. Fred told me if he had 40 head of horses in a corral to pick from, he'd take Lucky every single day. And I'll tell you what, this horse doesn't have a bottom. He just goes and goes. He's the kind of a horse that if you need a long day kind of horse, he's there for you. If you want a short day kind of horse, he's just as good on short days as he is on long days.
Recently, I was able to tour the Orthoflex Saddle Works. Comfort, durability, craftsmanship, and customer satisfaction have made them the largest custom saddle maker in the world. Every saddle is painstakingly handcrafted to the exact specifications of the individual person who's going to be riding it. If you're ready for the best saddle you're ever going to have, it's time to call Orthoflex. Remember, if you want a good ride when you get there, you better take your Orthoflex with you. All right, they're keeping their milk bottle with them. They're going into the corral. Now, at the corral, they've got to milk a cow, and they can do it any way they want to do it. Ken predicted from the very beginning. Ken said the men are going to put the cow into the chutes, and they're going to milk the cow in the chutes. But he said those boys love roping. So he said, you watch, those boys will try to rope their cow and milk the cow off the end of the rope. And sure enough, exactly like Ken predicted, the boys have roped their cow. The men, meanwhile, are loading the chute.
We had stopped kind of in motion while riding to grab a bite to eat, and Chick threw his leg up over the top of the horse's neck, and about that time a gust of wind hit us.
And the people that live in Clark, they know what wind is. And this was a good wind. And it was throwing little stones and gravel and starting to pick up sand. And we stopped the horses. I took one foot out of the stirrup on the left side, and I took my right foot and put it up around the saddle horn.
And for some unknown reason, the horse spook spun, and Chick flew like a rocket into a rock, head first, and laid there and started convulsing and stopped. As a 12-year-old kid, 13, I was sure he was dead. Chick was dead. I jumped off the horse, started back to him, being trained to do stuff by Mom with medical units. And just as I was about there, Chick sat straight up, as white as a sheet of paper, and started screaming. And he was screaming my name, and it scared me. I mean, that scared me. He was, as far as I knew, he was a dead guy laying there. And I calmed him down and got him to lay back down and put my coat underneath him for a pillow, and did all I could with what medical stuff I had with me, and told him I'm going to get help, and jumped back on my horse and took off.
The first responders came, and thanks to Clancy McNabb, he ran to our rancher's house. Nobody was home, so he busted a window and went in and used her phone. And it was a pretty good ride through a lot of heavy rocks on little Buddy, and I'm glad he had that horse that day because he knew that horse well. Thanks to Clancy, I'm still running around today.
Buddy is near 30 years old now, and I retired him probably 2 or 3 years after the wreck. I quit riding him. And now if you pull into our yard, you'll see a little white POA pony running around who looks like he owns the place and acts like he owns the place, and he does. He goes anywhere and everywhere he wants, and we all just kind of sit back and love to see him on the creek bank eating.
Orthoflex is much more than a saddle to give you more comfort than you ever thought possible. Orthoflex's patented flexible skirting system is designed to fit your horse's back so perfectly that there are no hot spots or heat spots to create saddle sores. Orthoflex, for those people who want to give their horse the very best. Remember, if you want a good ride when you get there, you better take your Orthoflex with you.
Got mama and daddy and a good Lord to blame. Amen. I'm a straight up, no joking, buck knife gun toting, give you the shirt off of my back. Well, I'm up at the crack of dawn, work till the sun's gone. I ain't got time for no crap. No, I'm not one of them posing pretty boys.
Holy cow, if this is any indication of how this day is going to go, competition is going to be tough. I don't believe I've ever seen 2 horses come through that gate before, but it did put these guys slightly in the lead. Okay, these guys, their first chore is to come down this draw right here. They're going to turn and head up a side box canyon where they're going to get instructions how to find the lariats they're going to need for the day. What these guys are going to have to do is get off their horses, tie their horses to a tree, and climb 150 feet straight up a hill.